Have you ever wondered why the hardest working people, those who spend 12 hours a day in the office or work two jobs simultaneously, are often the ones struggling the most financially? Meanwhile, the truly wealthy seem to always have time to travel, take care of their health, and enjoy life. By 2026, the myth of mere hard work has officially crumbled. If physical effort were the only key to wealth, every construction worker would be a millionaire. The reality is, hard work is a necessary condition, but it's never a sufficient one. Welcome to Sirion, where future billionaires find inspiration. Today, we'll analyze why simple hard work will never make you rich and the real mechanisms behind creating sustainable wealth. Here are 10 reasons why hard work alone never creates wealth. You're stuck in the linear income trap. Most people go through life selling units of time for units of money. This is an outdated equation. Your time is finite. You only have 24 hours a day. When you work harder, you're simply trying to squeeze a little more juice from a dried lemon. The rich don't work for linear income. They build systems that create value even while they sleep. If your money stops when you stop, you're only succeeding at work, not building wealth. Labor is taxed at the highest rate. The global financial system is designed to favor assets over labor. When you work hard to earn a salary, you're taxed at the highest rate. Conversely, those who own businesses or investment properties enjoy preferential tax structures. The difference between receiving a salary and owning a cash flow from assets is enormous. Workers focus on how much they earn, while the wealthy focus on where their money is placed and how it is protected. Hard work without leverage. A person's power is limited, but the power of leverage is limitless. Leverage can be capital, people, technology, or digital content. Working hard without leverage is like trying to lift a huge rock with bare hands. The wealthy use leverage to amplify their efforts 100 or 1,000 times. An hour of work by a leveraged person yields greater results than a year's work by a manual laborer. You're optimizing for busyness instead of efficiency. In middle-class culture, busyness is often confused with importance. Many people spend their days putting out small fires instead of building a fire prevention system. Hard work without a strategic direction is just a sophisticated form of procrastination. The wealthy don't optimize for busyness, they optimize for freedom and control over their time. Rushing is a disease of the middle class, caused by a scarcity of both time and money. Ownership is more important than participation. Income depends on presence, but wealth depends on position. An excellent manager might work 80 hours a week to run a company, but it is the shareholders who own that company who truly become wealthy from the manager's efforts. You cannot become sustainably wealthy without owning a piece of the money-making machine. Hard work allows you to run the machine for others. Ownership allows you to retain the value that the machine creates. You lack scalability. If your efforts cannot be replicated or scaled up, your potential for wealth will always be limited. A good doctor can only see a certain number of patients each day, but someone who creates a medical app can serve millions of people at once. Wealth is proportional to the scale of value you bring to the market, not to how tired you are after a day's work. You are protecting the present instead of building the future. Stability is a subtle trap. When you work hard in a safe environment, you begin to develop a defensive mindset. You fear risk, fear change, and fear losing your stable paycheck. But most great wealth is created during periods of volatility and uncertainty. Hard work within your comfort zone will keep you stagnant while the world is rapidly changing around you.
The difference between street smarts and book smarts. The education system teaches you that if you study hard and work well, you will succeed. That's a beautiful lie. In the real world, actual results are the only measure of success. There are many people with high degrees who understand all the financial theories, but are afraid of losing money and never dare to act. Wealth requires instinct, the ability to read situations, and tenacity. things that cannot be learned by following others' instructions. Networking and access. You might be the hardest working person in the wrong room. Wealth often moves through circles of trust and shared opportunities that the public never knows about. The wealthy invest in relationships and access. They don't just work in the business, they work on their network. If you focus solely on your professional work and neglect building social capital, you are cutting yourself off from the greatest opportunities. Hard work doesn't come with strategic optimism. Working hard with a pessimistic outlook on the economy is the quickest way to burnout. The wealthy are optimistic not because they are naive, but because they possess assets with growth potential. When you only have labor, you always feel like a victim of the system. When you own assets, you become a beneficiary of the world's development. Optimism is a direct result of ownership. In conclusion, wealth is not a reward for enduring hardship. It is a reward for effectively solving problems on a large scale by leveraging resources. Don't confuse effort with results. Stop asking, how can I work harder? And start asking, how can I create more value with less direct effort? If you're still standing on the sidelines of money, your life will only get harder. But if you start building ownership structures and leveraging today, your future will be a journey of freedom and control. Bonus: institutional access. True wealth sometimes isn't about how much money you have, but about where you're allowed to go. The wealthy have access to insider investment rounds, unlisted properties, and exclusive information before they become trending. This is the edge that allows them to multiply their wealth without having to work harder. That's why joining elite communities is the most profitable investment you can make. If you're a true Syrian and have watched this far, please write "leverage" in the comments. We want to know who is ready to change their approach to wealth. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, take care.